They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Today, we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the bearded one in his 17th season in the NFL, the well-traveled Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's one of those guys that's been around the block a few times in the NFL, and at this stage in his career, what he lacks in big playability, he more than makes up for it in veteran leadership, a real knowledge of the game, and being a terrific locker room presence.
First carry for Carlos Hyde. And he powers his way up past the 30. The numbers on the ground for Hyde last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse. We saw speed. And what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard. Give him 2 on the play there, and that leads to a Chicago first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. A first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Third and short yardage, Fitzpatrick. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he will have the Bears first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. They just get the play off. Now Fitzpatrick. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with the grab. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. And back to the ground. High. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. A give left to High. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. Fitzpatrick. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. The Niners offense making their way out, and they are led by the 3rd overall pick back in this year's draft out of North Dakota State, Trey Lance.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. This defense for the Bears, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 42. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They fake the handoff. Now Lance. They'll roll him out right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. On the give, this is Singletary. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Throwing on first down is Lance. Swinging this out for Pollard. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Bears, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
3 yards the gain there, second down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. The Lance going to throw. And he'll spot Hurd open left side. And the Niners are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Subsequent gains of 3, 4, and now 5 yards. Good enough for the first down. Singletary. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Devin Singletary, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Niners have taken the early lead. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths, running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Now Carlos Hyde gears up to take the field again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, Hyde. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
A 10th carry for Hyde. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick now. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
Well, Charles, you talk about this offense this week 8 of the 2021 campaign. Now, normally this would be the halfway point of the season, but as we all know, this is now a 17-game regular season. And because of that, seems like now maybe more than ever, getting your open week to occur later in the season, that could be a pretty big advantage.
Brandon, it's always been a big advantage, and now, as you pointed out, the possibility of it becoming huge, likely. Most teams want that later open date because of injuries, you know, getting that rest before the playoff push, all of those things. Sometimes when you get an open date early in the season, it's not very much of an advantage. You might be playing well, now it slows down your momentum. This is a big deal, and teams definitely like it. The later, the better.
The Bears on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Fitzpatrick. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
First down, a run with Hyde. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 38, Fitzpatrick. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. Touchdown, Bears! Henry Ruggs, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Throwing now is Lance. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Lance again here on 2nd and 10. That's complete to the tight end Sample. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Khalil Mack, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
You say Khalil Mack and offensive coordinators get very, very nervous, and there's another example of exactly why. 9 sacks in 2020, He's been named to 6 consecutive Pro Bowls and been an All-Pro in 2 of the previous 3 seasons in Chicago.
That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Bears on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On the handoff, it's Singletary. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll toss this right side to Singletary. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
13 yards remaining on 2nd down. And now they'll throw with Lance. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off at the 38. And they will score a pick 6 for the Bears. Touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. San Francisco's offense returns to the field.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Now here's a throw. It's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Lance to throw it. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double teamed and sometimes triple teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Dancing to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs, because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that, because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to the ground. This time it's Hyde. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Now 2nd and 11 from the 32. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Now it's a bootleg with Fitzpatrick. He finds his running back, Hyde. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. Got a man. It's Patterson, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. To throw again on second down. Fitzpatrick got his man complete over the middle. It's Lewis. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Another tote for the afternoon workhorse. It's Hyde. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. To throw, Fitzpatrick. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Henry Ruggs. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. They used to call it the West Coast offense, the long handoff. Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escape it.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws.
So we are at halftime here on Halloween. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, make sure you avoid the crazies out there and welcome in everybody to this Halloween edition of our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL.
We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And in the second quarter, it is the Eagles who are out in front. Sam Darnold has a couple of touchdown passes.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter.
And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
Right back to Singletary on second down.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
56 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
On second down, it's Pollard.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Lance looking to throw it.
He's got Hurst, his tight end.
And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Here's Singletary. Pretty nice aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Here's Lance.
Buying time to his left. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bears will get the football back. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
And incomplete on the deep ball. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick.
Got an open man, it's Ruggs.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. Patterson on the carry. Strong run, but they get to him just beyond the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Fitzpatrick, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Fitzpatrick. He dumps it to Hyde. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
San Francisco set to go on offense once more.
And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do.
Right back to Singletary on second down.
And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
Lance going to try and throw on third down here. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Here's Andy Lee now, standing just outside his own goal line. Let's take it at around the 40. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at the 45. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On play action, Fitzpatrick. Out to his left. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Now Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
The 49ers settling in for their next drive.
And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Singletary again. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
And Lance now to throw.
That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And taken right at the 35. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Play action now. Fitzpatrick. And he fires one incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Fitzpatrick. They'll go again for Landry, and this one's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears. Handoff comes to Hyde. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the quarterback.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
Chase Young
Able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, remember, he had the interception earlier. Now he adds the sack. He's really making his presence felt out there.
Oh, he is putting together a heck of a game. In fact, he's going to bump these plays to his highlight reel. Okay, so when he wants to show it off later on, look what I did out there, guys. In this offense, they've got to start paying him a little special attention. He's like a good basketball player, putting stats in every column.
It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
On 1st down, Lance.
Catch is made by Hurd. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lance. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes.
Damon Harrison. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15.
A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards.
And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field.
Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
A bit of an opening there on the 1st down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They run it again with Hyde.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
On first down, Hyde, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. First down, here's a run with Peterson. In on the tackle, Kamoko Toure.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On second down now, Hyde, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll run on first down. It's Patterson, and he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Once more, they turn to Patterson, and he's got some space here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. This offensive line, they're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll try to throw here, Fitzpatrick. He's got Anderson on the slant. And the Bears are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Throwing Fitzpatrick. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, a 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful.
Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking him.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. The Niners on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 16. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
And they'll go for it. Lance
taking a shot for Samuel. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Off of play action, here's Lance.
Funches with a catch over the middle.
And the 49ers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess?
And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Devin Singletary, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Niners have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, it's very close, 1-score game.
Man, if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Now the throw pulled in by Anderson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the 1st. They'll try to wind down some clock with Hyde. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, Patterson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Hyde. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Fitzpatrick to throw. Here's a screen to Powell. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
To a knee goes Fitzpatrick, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead,